Still unprepared. My glasses are dirty. Yeah. My bad. My bad. All right, I believe we are live. So I am going to proceed. I don't know what's happening. So I don't know how I'm going to be able to see the comments. All right. Oops. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Ignore the squeaky chair. Today, we are setting up week 51 in my Sterling Ink Common Planner. But before we get into that, I want to consider the astrology of the upcoming week and do a tarot reading for the collective regarding the new moon in Sagittarius. I'm going to use the information that we gain from this reading and from this peek at the astrology to assist me in planning the week. And after that, we will be saying affirmations and setting up my moon mapping notebook for the next lunar cycle. This is going to be the last live before 2026. I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. We'll discuss that further later on. So this reading is one that I developed specifically for the lives, because if they take too long, we can really get busy talking, which, maybe that should be a live I consider doing. But in the meantime, I'm trying to plan my week, and I'm trying to plan my week during the holidays. So we'll just have to settle for a 3-card spread so that we can get on with the doing of things. However, if Sagittarius is a big astrological aspect for you, it might be useful to give yourself a more in-depth look at that energy. As for me, we're going to start with the 3 cards. So this is, what is the highest thing we need to know for week 51? The highest thing we need to know for week 51. Okay, so card number 1 is the highest action to take. Card number 2 is the moon card, which is the task the moon is bringing us. And card number 3 is the highest thing to know. So first thing we have the Lovers. Highest action to take is the Lovers. Task the moon brings us is strength. And the highest thing to know is the 3 of Cups. This is beautiful. I love this. So week 51 sounds good to me. So, what is the highest action to take? And I see the lovers, and there's always like a threesome involved. There's the two people down here and the angelic being up at the top. And in this case, simply because it's come up for me throughout the past few weeks, I'm going to say that this is the balance of masculine, feminine, and child. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, check out Dee Wallace's work at imdwallace.com. She discusses the balance of masculine, feminine, and child a lot. And real quick, just so that we can get to the reading and complete the reading and get to the planning. The balance, everybody has a masculine, feminine, and child, and the balance of that is something that can get disturbed by life, by trauma, by undesirable experiences. And when you claim the balance of that, you're basically telling your energetic system, yes, we assimilate this information, we're going to grow, and now it's blank page, and we're going to create something new, right? And so that's what I'm getting from this card, which is we're going to claim the balance of masculine, feminine, and child. That is the highest action for us to take in week 51. The task the moon is bringing us. And the new moon in Sagittarius occurs Friday, December 19th at 8:43 p.m. Okay? And they're giving us the Strength card as the task. And what does this mean? This means find the inner power within. And it could mean tame the inner beast. But because we were told to balance, I'm saying it means develop that inner strength. The inner strength that needs us to have the balance of masculine, feminine, and child, right? Because the child is the creation. I should have mentioned that before, but so there's the masculine and the feminine, the part that is providing, and the part that is creating, and then what happens when that comes together is the child, the creation. Anyway, back to this. We're talking about the task the moon brings us is to develop our internal strength. And so to me, because we've got this Sagittarius energy, which is I see, right? And they're both looking in the same direction. So it's like it's also giving the energy of this is a soul meeting, right? We are, or a meeting with instinct, where we are both choosing to look in the same direction and embody the same space. And that is what is going to provide us the internal strength. So that is the task the moon is giving us. And the highest thing to know. The highest thing to know is that life is beautiful. Right now, the song that I'm hearing is a very, I don't know how old it is actually. I should research it. But basically, it's a song that talks about how beautiful life is. And it's in Spanish. And I think it's called Que bonita es la vida, which is life is so beautiful, or how beautiful life is. It's a beautiful song. And so that's a song that was playing when I looked at this card. And that is the highest thing to know, is that life is beautiful. So again, quick recap. We've got the Lovers. This is the highest action to take, which is balance the masculine, feminine, and child. Then we've got the task the moon is bringing us, which is develop our internal strength by having a meeting of the minds with our soul and our instinct. And finally, remember that life is beautiful. That is the highest thing to know. Life is beautiful. And I love that. I forgot to bring my bell, or I would ring it. So I'm gonna ring my bracelets. I love that, love that, love that. I want to have written that down, but I'm not going to make you guys go through it a third time. So I'm just going to note the cards here, and then I'll come back later, rewatch this, and get the note that I can fill in here. So Lovers is just a heart. Okay. Then we have Strength. Do I have a circle I can use for this? Yeah. Oh no, that looks terrible. We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna write and then it's easier to make my own infinity. Okay, so that's the 8. And finally, 3 of Cups. Three of Cups. I do remember, the highest thing to know is to remember that life is beautiful. Balance the masculine, feminine, and child, and develop inner strength. I said I wasn't going to make you do this. I had to write it anyway. Develop the inner strength. Develop inner strength by well, I'm going to say connecting, but that's not what I originally said. By connecting with soul and instinct. Oh, it was by seeing, because Sagittarius is I see instinct. See in the same direction as the soul. So there we go. That is the not the astrology, the reading for the collective for week 51. And that was very interesting. I didn't get any affirming words from that. Do I need any at this particular moment? Or is the affirmation, I am the balance of masculine, feminine, and child, right? I'm just going to check and see if we need to balance anything else. Usually, once you claim the balance of masculine, feminine, and child, like I said, it's like a reset. It's like a blank page. It's, in a sense, an energetic cleanse. However, there may be something residual that comes up after. And let's see if we need to balance anything. Do we need to balance anything? We do. Do we need the sheets? We do. Okay, so we're talking about Dee Wallace a lot today. I think her birthday is soon, actually, if I'm not mistaken, or it just passed, and maybe that's why. But I am pulling out her sheets, and these sheets she developed to assist us in balancing all energy. So I'm checking to see what it is that we need to look at, because we were told there was something to look at. Are we going to genetic subjects? No. Are we going here? Are we going here? No. Are we going here? Here? Is it this column? Is it this? Is it any others? Okay, so we have to balance something around wellness. And what is it that we need to balance around wellness? What needs balancing around wellness? Is it a core belief? No. Okay, so what needs okay, so what we need to do is claim the cocktail around wellness. And what is the cocktail? The cocktail is a direction of energy for ourselves to remind us of the power that is within us to create our lives. And so it is the call of the Creator. It is reminding us that we are creation. And so this was also developed by Dee Wallace. And you can learn more about her work at imdwallace.com. In the ionosphere and beyond, I am creation. I am the frequency of the balance of choice and creation in the radiation of my light, and the electrical charge of the electromagnetic whole within the whole. I am the charge that creates. I am power, love, joy, and choice. My heart is open. I claim this for all energy in all dimensions. And do we need to do anything else? No, we do not. All right, so that was good. That was like a big whoosh. If you have water, drink it. I forgot to bring my water. So I am going to have to deal with it until the live is over. But if you have water handy and you just did this energetic work with us, have a sip. Okay, so now we're going to clean up our cards. We're going to get into the plan portion of the of the gathering. We're up to the planning portion of the gathering. And if you're new here, I'm Ingrid from thinkingthis.com. I am a writer, tarot reader, Akashic record guide, medium, and spiritual empowerment professional. I've discovered that decorative planning keeps me productive and motivated as I parent, homeschool, create content, and maintain my spiritual practice. On Sundays, I go live, I time block, and I decorate my weekly pages. We will not be live, however, until January. This is our last live of the year. Hopefully I can release a few more videos. But in terms of live, we won't be live again until, I believe, January 6th, maybe. We'll find out soon once I get the planner out. Okay, so here we are. We are in week 51 of the Sterling Ink Common Planner. We're decorating the vertical pages. I mean, not the vertical, the weekly pages in the vertical Common Planner. This was week 50. There we go. This was week 50. Now we're going to do week 51. I'm just going to move this guy over. And in order to keep things efficient, I have to check my checklist. So we did our reading for the collective. We need to add the lunar phases to the weekly. So we've got the lunar phases written here on the monthly, and we're just going to do this week. Where's my pencil case? There it is. Probably should have had this stuff out before the live, but we were 4 minutes late already. So yeah. Here it is. Okay. All right, we're going to use the smaller circle. And it's, I think it's, what is it again? Waning crescent in Scorpio. That's Monday. And then on Friday, new moon in Sagittarius. Okay. Oh, that looks weird there. There. New moon in Sagittarius. Next, we have added the phases. Now we need to add if the books are open. Oh, forgive me, I'm going to have to dig into my markers. I try to have these out before I go live, but like I said, we were late. We were late. All right, so open books are occurring 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. Okay. I might as well. Oh no, I'm not going to do that there. Okay, so after I mark when my books are open, it's time to put our appointments down. And so we have book club that occurs at 7:30. And we have we're not going live. That's what, so not going live until the 4th. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we don't go live until the 8th. That's going to be, where is there a January back here? Oh, it would be the 11th. Oh. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go live again. We'll be back January 11th. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 weeks away. Oh, but I will be getting my complete common planner set up during those weeks. So hopefully I can finish that at a reasonable time. Okay, so we have this. We also have another appointment. And that is on the 18th at 10:30. All right. Okay, I believe I also have a parent meeting. Yes, I do. Um, there and there. I just remembered I need to buy something. Actually, no. All right, I'm going to add this to the to-dos. Adjust. I have to adjust my daughter's glasses because they're a little too big and they're sliding off her nose. So I have to do that. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I need to write it on the list because I just remembered it needs doing. Okay, we have added those appointments. Need to add book club there. Oops. Okay, and now I'm going to put my event signifier, which is an open triangle. If we go through with the event, we put the bottom on the triangle. If we do not, then we put a line through the middle of the triangle, like, you know, like not, you know, like canceled, but just through the triangle. Okay, so just got lipstick on my finger. So we have done appointments. Now the next thing that I like to do is cook dinner. Well, I don't like to do it, but I like to plan it next. And so I'm already being roped into making homemade Twix bars. And then I have leftover cranberries. So I would like to make some cranberry orange muffins. And ideally, if we could do our like holiday celebration, but you see how I'm deciding this like last minute? No, I should just do it on the 24th. Maybe do one special thing on the 21st. But we do our thing on the 24th. Yeah. Okay. So that was decided. I'm going to write that as an event. Okay. And I'm going to call it Noche Buena. And there we go. Now I know now I know when that's happening. I'm probably definitely going to be cooking on the 21st. There's no question, especially considering, you know, what has been decided. So there's that. Okay, next we have to finish our dinner signifying. I will worry about adding in cooking tasks after, yeah, after this has been set up for school. The question is, what are the school days off in week 51? Are there any? Yes. Oh no, that's all the following week. Okay, so no days off there. Okay, so then we know what's next is bedtime routine. Okay, I just remembered what I always put here, so let's put it now. Next up, I remember this too. We might as well put that now. Okay. After the bedtime routine, homeschool instruction time. I should have brought my headband. Homeschool instruction time. Oops, that was supposed to start at 10. Oops. it looks really strange. It's because all these washi tapes have made this bumpy, and now it's difficult. That's the drawback to putting the washi tape in the same exact spot all year. It's not too bad, but those lines came out messy because there was no room. Actually, that doesn't happen there because we're leaving the house and getting ready to leave the house. So now, and then we'll have time to eat lunch and do our afternoon schooling. And finally on Friday, ew, I'm bugging. Well, no, 1 o'clock is a good time. We'll do 1. Friday will be slightly different, but we're not going anywhere on Friday, so it can be. All right, there we are. Homeschool instruction time clocked. Okay. Where are we? Where are we? Homeschool instruction time now. It's homeschool admin time, of which there needs to be a lot. I have to get together, like, hopefully I can get together some at least 3 science labs, like all the materials for those science labs before January. I mean, I guess, yeah. There we go. Okay, so that is update homeschool Register. Okay, so next would be the evening routine and the morning routine. Actually, the morning routine would be easier to do, so I'm just going to skip the order. And we're just going to do the morning routine stuff. Okay. So, as I've said many times in every live, I just write the to-dos on Monday, and then I will put a signifier dot on all the other days for me to have something to check off when it's done on that day, but I don't have to write the entire thing out. Need purple for this. Purple, purple. Next, all right, there we go. All the health related things. And then AM reflection. Oh, did that in a weird spot there. I was supposed to go there, but I guess doesn't make much difference. Okay, and finally cleaning. I say that very excitedly. Cleaning. And there's these little cleaning tasks too that 9 o'clock, okay. Am I gonna do it all in the same line? I want to try. Ooh, I'm writing small. There we go. And why am I trying to do that? Because it's there are like three different kinds of spirit dishes. And I want to have three dots. You know, sometimes I only get to two in a particular week. And so I want to put the three dots to kind of indicate to me which, if all of them were done or if I need to do one of the others. Okay, so then we have the vacuuming situation. The vacuuming list has expanded, and it should expand to the entire house, but we're going to only concentrate on the transition areas, meaning stairs, hallway, and foyer. The transition areas of the house need vacuuming, but and there are there are 5 locations. So I would like to do 5 dots. No, there's 4 locations. I'm confusing that with laundry, which I should just write in. Laundry should start at 11. So I'm going to put that there. And then here we got to squeeze in the vacuum conversation. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. If I did 4 dots, 4 dots and as 2 lines. Okay, we'll do that. So we'll do these 2 lines here. I'm going to put foyer at the top. And then level 1 stairs. And that will be 2 dots. Okay, and then we're going to have vacuum the L3 hallway and the L2 stairs. Vacuum L3 hallway. Wow, I wrote that small. And L2 stairs. It's there. Okay. I freaking love that. I don't know. Will that make me more likely to vacuum? We shall see, but I love how that looks. I will be writing this the same way in the future. Okay, and I definitely have to do laundry. I've skipped the laundry thing, and I need to stop playing games because I want to have my laundry caught up before the new year. That's like one of my little goals. All right. Got the house cleaning. And we have the laundry. Okay, so now we only have to do the evening routine. I'm going to start with just indicating the open book situation. Ooh, and I have to bake bread too. Writing that down. Must remember that. Bake bread. Okay. So, as I've said before, when the books are open, but no one has scheduled, I just outline the hourly blocks where something could potentially be scheduled, and I leave it like that. And then when someone books, that's when I'll come in and shade in the color for their appointment time. Now, if no one books, I may have decided, hey, this is a good time for homeschool administrative stuff, or this is a good time for bookkeeping stuff. And so when I do that, I will just do the hourly blocks in the same way, in the color that goes for bookkeeping or in the color that goes for admin, homeschool admin. Okay, so we've got that. And I already know that I will be doing work-related tasks. Oops. If no one books, I will still be doing that on Saturday. So I'm going to put that dot there so it kind of like you can start populating this list for yourself. Okay, so now that we've done that part, now it's time to choose what days will we be doing homeschool preparation and what days will we be doing homeschool admin. I also need to do my exercises. This was not the right color. This is the right color. Yeah. Okay, so we've got, actually, I want to highlight that. There we go. Okay, this is read for the book club. Actually, this is the day that I should paint my nails. I gotta make that Friday. Can't spell the word paint. Okay. Maybe I can wash my hair on Thursday. Or maybe it makes more sense on Tuesday. Actually, it probably does. So I'm just going to write it in here. Wash hair. There we go. Oh, and here I want to do skincare. Okay. Now we are on, we got to choose some bookkeeping days. And that's usually Thursday, Friday, Sunday. I'm gonna, even though I've said many, many times that Monday is just Monday evenings are like extremely difficult for me to do things, especially on a bread baking day. But I'm gonna just put in wishfully thinking that possibly some bookkeeping can happen on Monday. But it's definitely gonna be scheduled for Thursday. And Friday night. With Saturday being the administrative homeschool. Although it could, in theory, be a filming day as well. I don't know. But we'll definitely give the 21st a serious push in the homeschool admin department as well. And then here, I know filming needs to happen if I want to get my common planner ready before the new year. So we're gonna do something here, just like if it was alive. And then we will pivot to homeschool preparation at 8 o'clock. Although, could be food, cooking, could be food related. I won't be filling any of these in just because this might get moved around based on cooking related tasks. But that's it for now. That is the evening routine. Now we are going to do our decor and our to-do lists. Ugh, I just chose a washi tape that I used previously. Okay, here we go. From the lucky bag. The lucky bag. Just put it there and then lift off. Slightly off, how annoying. And then there we go. Okay. Now we are going to choose we're going to choose this one here. I don't know if I want the big giant cursive groceries. So this time I'm just going to do individual boxes. I'm going to have to put the I and the E next to each other. I don't like it. Never mind. Let a white out today. A lot of white out today. Let's just try writing it smaller. Groceries, okay. Next, I'm going to put my little flag here. Oops. Okay, and filling in the flags. Um, okay, to do, I don't know. Did we use this already? No, okay. We'll use this. Deep violet. Okay, and then we're going to add our signifier dots. Our task dots. With our next actions. Okay, what is left is this highlight area here, which I'm struggling with all the time. But we're going to try it again. This time I got to turn the book. Close. All right. And there we have it. We have planned out week 51. We're going to jump into our affirmations. I did do this task, so let's X that out. Okay. We're going to jump into our affirmations, and whatever time we have left till 5, maybe not too much because I did a lot of talking today. But we will be doing our affirmations, and then whatever time we have left, we'll go to setting up the moon mapping notebook for the next lunar cycle, which begins Friday, December 19th. Okay. So I'm going to take a deep breath so that I can really be intentional with this. I am supposed to be here and I do belong and it feels like love. D. Wallace. I easily love, validate, and cherish myself. I wake up every day on purpose to create my life. I have the courage to face the truth. I don't need to belong everywhere. I belong to my vision. Bailey Varnell. I am not here to earn my worth. I am here to conquer it. My voice matters, even when it's quiet. My value exists, even when I'm still. Bailey Varnell. I am a channel for my deepest truth. And then finally, I am the balance of masculine, feminine, and child by D. Wallace. And so there it is. Those are the affirmations. And now we can spend the next 9 minutes setting up the moon mapping notebook for the next lunar cycle. Okay. And here we are. This was over here. This was, my camera seems crooked, but I'm noticing very late, so I'm going to leave that. But this is this current lunar cycle. We're over here, waning crescent in Scorpio. That happens tomorrow at 5:29 p.m. in the waning crescent time, there's like this stillness, this letting go. But then there, you know, because of this Scorpio, it's also like a transformative letting go. And it's preparing the way for the new energy, the new creation that we are going to bring forth. Okay? So that is the Scorpio. It's about to end. Now we're going to jump into the Sagittarius. Now, I use the Honeycomb Collective Ephemeris. I really enjoy it. It's really helped deepen my understanding of transitional astrology. Is it called transitional astrology? No, the transits of astrology. So I like to order the digital thing, and then I print it out and, you know, stick it inside a Filofax, and then just grab the pages for the current month and keep them in here. I like to break these down like this. It kind of helps me see it better than if it's like this. I don't know why that is, but it helps me interpret better to see it laid out this way. And so that's what I like to do. So here we are with December. And we're starting with December 19th. December 19th. Okay. That's what we'll do. But before we do that, we need to put our lines down. I don't know what color I'm going to be using for January, but we do know that December is purple. So I'm going to start here with purple. I have misplaced my rulers. Don't tell me I'm going to spend my whole... Oh, no, here they are. Okay. All right. So we're starting with our lines. Oops. Okay. I don't remember how I like to do this, so I'm going to keep flipping back and forth. Okay. So we're just going to... Oh my God. Look how bumpy that got. Oh, I'm not happy with that at all. Ugh. All right, cycle day. Let's try to do a better job here. Straighter. Okay, the moon. Oh wait, do I want the moon to be so separate? No, I do not. I actually want the moon to be next to the name of the phase. So I'm going to just do these dots. Okay, so there's the moon and then the phase. Back to the lines, but let me just... I'll be able to see where I'm supposed to stop. Okay. Sign that it's going to be in. Time that is going to happen. Oops, 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 oops. These lines are crazy, but we're going to leave it because, you know, if we try to make everything look perfect, we're not going to get the value of the astrology. I'm not going to make it perfect. I'm not going to go back and erase anything like that. I'm going to leave the lines as they come out. All right. Should I have extended those lines? Possibly, but I'm not going to do that until I write down what I need to write down. And so what we're writing down first is the week number. That's going to go here at this big edge here. All right. Week number. And that is, you know, kind of the, like, this is like mapping the moon. So, you know, it's starting on a Friday. You know, I need to know what week number that is in a regular calendar just so that I can be able to apply this to my planning system, right? So the week number goes here. Then we have cycle day. Now I wrote that in cursive and then I was like, I want to do all these in print, but I didn't. All right, but we're doing it in print now. Okay, cycle day. Then we have the date over here. I want to write that a little closer. Date, moon, and then phase. I actually want to write it even lower. Not that you can see it, but I want to write it here. Phase. Time. Void, of course. Aspects. Notes. Okay, we have sign. And that's it. My eraser. Yay, you're handy. I'm going to erase the pencil here, but before I do that, let me just write the weeks. We've got week 51 over here on Friday. And then week 52. And then week 1 starts down here. we don't know what color. Oh, no, we do know. It's like an orange. Oh, yes. It's an orange. So we're going to mix it up, even though purple and orange, I don't know about you. Don't know about you, purple and orange, but we're going to try to respect the theme. Okay, so here's number 1. Week 1 of the new year. Okay, and so we're going to use orange for that part. Out orange. I have a problem with orange a lot of the time. It's like dry and I have to wet it, so we'll see how far we get with this orange. Okay. Yeah. I wonder if, because I don't want to get up. I'm gonna use some spiritual cologne to wet it and see if that will that assist us. Does that do anything? Or does that dry things out? Yeah, it's not working. Okay, so that orange doesn't work. We're gonna have to use this fatter orange. Okay, weak. Yeah, it's too thick. I don't like it. All right, and then week 2 occurs over here. Week 3 over here. Okay, and then we need our lines, but our time is up. It's 5:06. That means we have been here 90 minutes. So we're just going to complete these lines and say goodbye. If you enjoyed our time together, please be sure to like and subscribe so that you can be notified when we upload new videos or when we go live again, which is going to be January 11th. However, there will be videos released before then, at least 2. Hopefully more than 2, but at least 2. Oops. See that? I'm going to have to white out. That doesn't work for me. I didn't want that there. You see, that's what happens when I'm trying to do 2 things at the same time. Like, remember what I want to tell you and remember what I'm doing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We are winding down. I hope you guys have a wonderful week 51. May you have that communion with your soul. May you remember to claim the balance of masculine, feminine, and child. Um, may only love